Mr. Blunt seems to be responsible for the forgery of time. The cogs dear me, that does put a different complexion on things. Those monsters destroyed any number of valuable businesses, some belonging to dear friends of mine. And then there's that loss of life among the residents of the cogs, of course. Very unfortunate. I'm afraid that Mr. Vaughn has a great deal to answer for. I'm sure I can bring down Vaughn. Enough of this solid investigation business for the moment. Let's turn our minds to more pleasant things. A cleric from the Temple of Kolkaran says that he has an invitation for you. I believe your time has come, Sulykka. But I can't spoil the surprise. Speak with Denich Mornifin and tell him when I say hello. I don't know what it has to do with that, but alright. And then here's Denich Mornifin. Do I have the honor of addressing Sulykka? I am here to convey an invitation. Calvin Ryak would like the pleasure of your company at the Coronath this evening for a private meeting. What does he want to meet about? I'm afraid the High Priest did not confide in me. I'll be assured that whatever the issue is of the utmost importance. The High Priest does not believe in wasting anyone's time, least of all his own. I'll take the lift to the Coronath and speak with Calvin Ryak. Oops. So it appears that I need to go and retrieve myself a fresh neuron. Give me a brief moment for station identification while I do that. So this is normally the one I switch up and grab Haystack, who will be Maryland basically until level cap. And then we go over here, we hit the boarding pass, and we take us back to the Drunken Tavern. And I have mail, which likely means that if I go over here and talk to the Lord Mayor Cathan Eardemel. Oh, I guess not. Because he had nothing to say to me. So what is my name then? I just got to get these. Okay. So I must have cashed in the first hidden reward last night. Alright, so let's go and do the Blown Deadline quest. Now the first time I did this, or rather the first few times I did this, I actively disliked this quest because it's one of the ones where it's fairly easy all the way up until the end, and then it got really miserably difficult, and I'm like, oh man, there's like, this sucks, you know, to get jumped at the end of a quest is kind of BS.
You arrive at the world-renowned Coronath,
there is a trick to finishing
a temple dedicated to the god of wealth, located in the pulsing heart of Sharn. The main temple has just closed its doors for the evening. You wonder why Kolkaran's high priest wants to meet with you after hours. An imposing man dressed in a noble's finery beckons you from the main courtyard.
Welcome, adventurer. You've made some mark in the city in very little time. All of Sharn is abuzz with tales of your exploits. It's all very impressive, so impressive that I decided to ask you for a favor. This is not a personal favor, you understand. I'm asking you as a respected business and spiritual leader of the city. I want you to ruin Mr. Lucian Vaughn. I'm listening. Vaughn has offended the wizards, alienated the city council, and set those accursed forgers loose on the profitable businesses. In short, he's a nuisance. I gave him some time to put his affairs in order, but that time has run out. Everyone who matters agrees the city would be better off without him. So what do you... So what to do with Mr. Vaughn? I've learned that recently Vaughn has crossed a legal line in an attempt to save his business. We cannot have an illegal operation here in Sharn, Sulykka. I'm sure you can agree. Go on. You should see this for yourself. I arranged for a sky coach to take you to a newly constructed factory. Vaughn is hidden in the plain view down in the middle months of the Dura district. Take a look and see whether you find any irregularities. If you do, I have faith you'll take the appropriate actions. Your violent reputation precedes you after all. I don't understand. I thought Vaughn was trying to join the Orm. Wouldn't you... You've given a gift, Sulykka. Please take the sense to take it. Very well, I'm willing to see where this law leads.
The high priest gestures to the east.
Take the sky coach at the end of the northern courtyard. It will deliver you to your destination.
One of Sharn's most powerful men has turned against Lucien Vaunt and has selected you to deliver the killing blow against his new manufactory. You arrive at your destination after a long flight through the forest of towers that comprises the Middle Memphis district. To your surprise, Vaunt's Drow warehouse is a drab and unremarkable structure. The entrance is unguarded, so you slip inside. After a moment of stunned silence, the guards scramble into action. Intruders! Activate the alarm spells! Lock down the entire tower!
As you can see, the improved precise shot makes short work of that. Property damage improves learning.
Pulling the ornate lever triggers a suspicious rumbling in the hall behind you. You've uncovered a secret passage.
Okay. These next sections get a little dodgy, because there's a lot of trash that's going to come in. But unfortunately, a lot of these guys have to hang out through that to get to the place. Also, because of the ramps, it gets a little bit tricky for targeting. DDO doesn't really process the Z axis particularly well, so in a lot of cases, what you're going to want is to try to get on as flat a circle as possible, otherwise you're going to have a bad day. See it, two of them, those guys. Stay clear of those blue traps if possible, because they will absolutely ruin your day. They don't do a lot of damage, you can see. I can't see what. But they make you sticky, and then you can't jump or tumble or back up, and especially as a ranged character, that's a very bad time. Oh, very odd. Because normally the traps these guys lay, they don't actually count towards the traps. So I'm not sure how that works, but I did get it. So with the second one, I disabled it. So that's odd. See, he died in a blue flash, which means that he got killed by a Vorpal strike. Very handy.
A A large group of guards has formed ranks in front of the tower's lower doors. Defend the doors! One shouts at the men. Don't let them pass!
I'm not sure. Now, a lot of time when I'm not sure if that's the case. Because any mob that's death blocked cannot. Oh, there you go. I got stuck. As you can see, I can't tumble. So I'm not sure if they did that. As I was saying, any mob that gets death blocked, you can't warble. So obviously a lot of them suddenly death block now, especially the champions.
Pushing open the doors unleashes a wave of hot air. The heat reminds you more of your time down in the cogs than of the middle city.
Okay. It's the woods. Now, if we go down here, there's some optionals. But I'm not gonna. It's just lore. It's like backstory. It's not really helping you all that much.
As you open the first valve, the pipes in the room begin to rupture, and steam hisses from the cracks. Another pipe breaks, and the machinery itself begins to shudder. Pulling the final lever causes the temperature in the room to flare up as system breaks down.
Okay, so I'm like, oh, look at this. I'm just gonna run right down this hall. No. Run on the track.
It gives way beneath your feet.
That's how we run down the track.
The rumbling clank of machinery grows louder as you move further down the passage.
Okay, so now if we open this door up.
Your footsteps echo as you progress down the eerily quiet hallway. The lifts in this chamber appear to have been disconnected from their power source, and their gates are tightly locked.
Okay, so there's actually not much down here, but there are notes. So if you come bumbling down here, I feel a bit laggy again. There's a fair to moderate chance you will find notes.
A dropped pile of paperwork catches your eye.
There you go.
You stash the paperwork in your bags. It may be useful as evidence later.
This is the shrine. That's basically why you come down here. So we got lucky. The notes are random spawns. They can be anywhere, including some of the optional areas. So you might find them, you might not. I mean, it's not a, as you saw, it's not a whole lot of experience. So if you don't get through them very well.
You have reached the center of the manufactory. Sabotaging the equipment in here should disable the whole facility.
And this is very simple. You just go left to right.
The machinery loudly grinds and squeaks. Acrid smoke pours from the sabotaged equipment.
Just lever, and valve. Then what you want to do, this is the trick, is you get up here, and then you turn the valve.
Arcane lightning crackles through the grating as the device overcharges and melts. The last piece of equipment in the main manufacturing sputters and stalls. Soon, the entire tower starts to quake.
And we're out. I used to do that the hard way, and never again, chat. Never ever again. You can thank Strimtown for that. He showed me that little trick in one of his videos. Those aren't actually giving me a trap bonus. I don't know if there are any actual traps in this chest quest, to be perfectly honest. Maybe down below? There is an optional fight. If you fall to the bottom there's fight the sea lions, and you've got to kind of work your way out. And you can also, if you go down the opposite hallway there, so if you are over here and you go down this hallway, you're like, hey, what's down over here? That's a bad time. You're once again going to fall down into a trap, and you will fight an Adiug down there, and that he is exceptionally awful to fight. He has a red named Adiug.
Rupturous heat and concussive force tear through the building as the main manufactory collapses.
And the reason I'm not going down to fight him is that he is so awful, I am not convinced I can beat him. So just to show you what's down this hallway, there's more trash, obviously. Trash.
A band of guards monitors the enslaved workers who pack Von Arcane's assistants in crates.
So anyway, so if you go through there, there's just a bunch of Vaunt guys. Eventually, if you talk to them all, but there's really not a whole lot of value down there. If you do all that, it gives you a nominal amount of experience. Again, most of these optionals are really, really experience poor, so that's why people just don't do them. So yeah. Anyway, so now we're gonna get to the end fight, and this is the trick. Okay, so you come in here. That was not what I intended to do. That was dumb. So you come here.
The gnome roars at you as you enter the room. My wonderful equipment! How could you destroy it like that? You'll pay for this travesty!
So we'll start off by targeting the Clone Reaper, because of course there's a Reaper. And what we do is we run back like this. Why are we doing that? And you will see in this.
The massive construct emits a strange metallic grating sound. And several smaller constructs come barreling into the
here. Not so many bad things happen. You don't have to fight them all at once. Shoot them one at a time as they come around the corner. This guy got himself high centered, and that's ideal, so I can just sit here, pump him full of lead all day.
The construct finally grinds to a halt, too damaged to continue its assault.
Just like that. Because what happens is if you're like standing smack in the middle of this room, they come out of there, they come out of there, they come down the ramp, and basically you're caught in a kill box. You're done. The devs have perverse love of kill boxes, which are supposed to be a player-only option. Anyway, well, watch Docent. You know, if you got a Warforged Artificer, it's not bad. So we'll take that. This is one of the places where you actually can get, I believe, the Hallowed Castigators and the Collective Sight Goggles. Do I have those on me? I don't know if I took